Well, I don't know where time goes, you guys, but my YouTube channel just turned 3 years old this week. A lot has changed since January of 2021 when I embarked on this journey. Back then, it feels like a different time, honestly. For starters, I could go to a public rec center and everyone mainly left me alone. I had to deal with mic spammers and the odd screaming child who was trying to destroy everyone's eardrums with high-pitched noises, but I didn't have anyone running up to me to take pictures or shout my name or go,
"Oh, no way, it's Tarapeutic. Are you streaming?"
Me? No, just existing. Honestly, back then when I told people I was a RecTuber, they demanded to know how many subscribers I had because no one had heard of me, naturally. When I told them I had like 30 subs, I could basically see them roll their eyes and move on. I'll be big someday, I thought, even if right now I barely have the confidence to speak in public. Well, I still barely have the confidence to speak in public, but that's beside the point. On a similar note, I could make friends very easily in 2021. Pretty much anyone I came across and enjoyed playing Rec Room Originals with got added to my friends list. I played so much Rec Room that I'd consistently invite those people for another round of Jumbotron or just to hang out in my dorm. I didn't have to worry so much. This is because I was just a Rec Room player first and foremost. No one was interested much in me besides genuinely hanging out and having fun. Nowadays, I have a close friend circle that knows me really well and I don't have to censor myself around them, but it's almost impossible to meet new people and make genuine friends. I mean, don't get me wrong, as I'm scripting this video, I have over 134,000 friends in Rec Room. That's a lot, but to almost 134,000 of them, I'm likely just a Rec Room YouTuber, not someone they really know very well or could behave genuinely around. Someone get the world's smallest violin, I know. Cry me a river. I basically have no right to complain about suffering from being too well known in the game. But at times it can be a little lonely, you know? You can't just enjoy the game in the same organic way unless you hop on an alt account. And these days, even my voice and my laugh seems to give my identity away. I do miss the anonymity of when I first started playing Rec Room and forging real friendships, but of course, everything has pros and cons. For example, back in the day, there was no video partner code. All revenue from existing as a YouTuber came from Google AdSense, live stream donations, and channel memberships. It wasn't until the end of 2021 that Rec Room added codes so people could get verified and earn money that way. So a positive point for modern day Rec Room is that creators can earn full-time income more easily than they could before. If you use code TARA, I can pay my mortgage. As you can see, having to push the code all the time can be a little bit exhausting and feels like a shameless plug, but since it lasts only 45 days, one has to keep reminding their audience gently to support. I try not to scream it at you guys. It's bad enough that every second video is sponsored by VR Wave. Actually, that's another thing that's so different than when I first started out, is that I didn't have any sponsorships, and the idea of doing one was absolutely terrifying. But after all this time, I've had so many. Everything from Kiwi Designs to Skillshare to Abika, and I even got a sponsorship with a gaming company called Ewan Racing. Sponsorships are stressful, but every time I manage to get a new one, it's an amazing feeling and I can add it to my media kit and feel all special. Being a YouTuber is full of personal goals and you have to motivate yourself because no one's gonna do that for you. I decided to upload videos twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. And that's it. I stuck with it. The more time that passed without me ever missing one, the more I realized that my consistency was paying off. I saw other people taking a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months off, and when they returned, their views seemed to have evaporated. This terrified me to see, so I often envisioned what would happen if I ended up in the hospital or something. I need protocol in place with my editors or something to make sure they could revamp old content into new content so I stay on schedule. As you can tell, motivation is not an issue for me since I'm scared of all of this disappearing for some reason. Anxiety is an issue clearly, but you guys aren't qualified therapists, so I won't talk about that here. I still find it hard to believe that YouTube is a real job though. Yet month after month, it keeps paying my bills and I get to stay home and work on a flexible schedule. To me, that's the best part. In 2021, I still worked a 9-to-5 job. I was in the middle of moving and I also worked a side hustle on Etsy and I was questioning if I could ever be full-time on YouTube. I told myself I'd give it a full year and evaluate where I was at. Luckily, after only 7 months or so, my channel monetized. The average time it takes to monetize a YouTube channel is about 24 months, so I'm proud of that number and how hard I worked in that time. Speaking of hard work, I've always worked an insane amount to try and get my channel up and running, and now to keep it running by communicating with editors and my team. However, back when I first started, I have to admit, I had no idea what I was doing when it came to video ideas. It was mostly trial and error. A whole bunch of random non-scripted skits, glitches videos, gameplay videos, and who knows what else. Mainly, I played Rec Room, got random footage, and turned it into videos I thought everyone would love because I'm super funny and entertaining. Then it got like 100 views and I realized my editing wasn't great. And I'm not as super funny or entertaining as I once believed. So by the end of that first year, I had to really realize where my strengths were. And that's with writing. Once I started writing my scripts properly and not just winging it, things looked a lot more optimistic. So anyone out there who's still winging it, I gotta say, planning really makes all the difference in the world. Even if you don't have a full script, at least have a solid plan. I don't do anything now without a script or a solid plan. It saves you a ton of work. And on the topic of filming, another big difference from back in the day to now is that I felt all Rec Room YouTubers were daunting back then. And despite wanting to collab and film with them, I could barely say hi without my heart pounding out of my chest. One time I met Bo at RecCon in 2021 and tried to play it cool, but I probably played it so cool that I came off as frigid. I literally felt like they were on this huge pedestal and I was just just the newbie and I could never measure up to this incredible standard of being an OG RecTuber. Also, they all knew each other and I was kind of like the foreign new person, which didn't really help me feel included. But fast forward to now, and I've done so many collabs with other creators that I no longer get heart palpitations after sending them an invite. On the contrary, I actually have a level of comfort working with certain people that I actually look forward to seeing them. Back in the day, at any RecTuber meetups, I was the shy one in the corner as everyone else talked to each other, and I was just like, oh my god, I don't belong here. And now I'm the one running up to them and saying, oh my god, I haven't seen you in forever. How's your guinea pig doing after that scare with the carrots earlier in the year? Bit of an exaggeration, but I'm no longer afraid. And the difference a few years makes. I'm in this space and my numbers are solid, and that gives me confidence. Also, the other Rec YouTubers are pretty nice, and clearly they also have their own struggles and worries, so that makes me feel more at ease. It's not just me worrying about now and the future. I get that most people do. That's normal. One thing I do worry about is the amount of comments I get and the inability to respond to everyone. In 2021, I wished for comments and DMs and notoriety. Now I'm always kicking myself for missing people's heartfelt comments and not being able to answer all my messages or open all my gifts. I tried in mid-2023 to open all of my saved gift boxes. It was hours of trying, and I still didn't get through them all. At some point, I remember messaging Bo, and I'm like, do you respond to every DM? Like, help, I'm getting so many. And he's like, I try to respond to the ones I can. And I was like, huh? But I mean, we need to respond to every message. What's wrong with you? I didn't say that, but you know. It was like exactly a month after that, I realized there's no way I can keep up. If I want to get my work done, then I have to forfeit on keeping up with comments. Love you guys, but I'm not a robot. It kills me to admit it. I try to answer comments the same day I post a video, and I try to respond to important community posts, and I try to just take time to heart and read comments where I can, but it's a lot in a day. I also at some point mostly started ignoring my Rec Room DMs because those can get to be a toxic hot mess full of group chats faster than any other social media I'm on. I'll still gather them for the weird DMs videos and read them when I have time, but I don't focus on that. So a lot has changed. Also, my attitude in general has changed. Unfortunately, I don't play Rec Room as much as I used to, and therefore it feels like mostly work sometimes. I'm trying to get back into it now more often and drop the everything has to be a video filming session when I'm in game attitude, but it's tough. I mean, have you ever played a game for hours on end, weeks and months and years in a row? It's hard to have the same passion. I love Rec Room and always will, but I definitely will be the first to admit that I don't have the same exact exuberance as I did when I first started. I want to work on that more this year and develop more creativity because at the end of the day, Rec Room can be anything you want. It's a platform for being creative and the possibilities are endless. This is my job and I absolutely freaking love it. I need to get out of the grind sometimes though and just enjoy the game as a player. Tough as that can be. Okay, my controller died. I only have one hand, but I need to finish this video, so I'm gonna just proceed. So just ignore the fact that I have one hand. We're gonna roll with it. I would like to say that I really appreciate all the support, and that's something that's the same now as it was back in 2021. As far as the community goes, one of my huge goals when starting YouTube was to be able to help others. Sure, money's good, fame's all right. Fame isn't my favorite, which is why you don't often hear me talk about sub goals or whatever. Really, I just want to pay my bills and quietly live a reasonable life. But aside from that, community building was my second goal. I went through a tough time when I was a teenager and a young adult, and I found solace in an online message board during that time. I made some really good friends online, and it helped me feel way less alone when I was going through a lot of struggles with my mental health. So when I realized you can have a Discord server, and it was like a modern version of that, I had a vision. I wanted a space where people could hang out and support each other, and they could get advice, or just in general, take a break from the real life, and know that their online friends were there for them. And the Team Tarapeutic Discord has become that. It really brings me so much joy to see people making friends, and just knowing that it's evolved into such a great place from when I first started the server in May of 2021. I try to be present there as often as possible and keep up that vision of having a safe space for all. This isn't just on me though. I have to thank all of the active members there for upholding that vision and just being so amazing. Oh, now both my controllers died. Am I just disorganized that I just didn't charge my controllers before I hopped on to film? I don't care. I need to get this video done. Okay, so now I have no hands. Cool. Just pretend I have hands waving. Y'all know how it goes. Reflecting back on then versus now, I can honestly say everything's more structured. I've been burned and learned from so many incidents and so many situations that I'm more organized by default. I have forms to fill out to join the Discord or apply for filming extras within the Discord. I don't assume when I talk to someone new that they have my best interests at heart, but I do get all the benefits of this wonderful YouTube career, even with the pros and cons. Being a top RecTuber is an amazing feeling. All the hard work continues to pay off, and I just adore this community. I know this piece of content here will never be a banger vid with like 100k views, but sometimes I just have to make a rambling video about my thoughts and feelings because it keeps me sane to say it. I kind of want to make more videos like this, so let me know in the comments if you made it this far and what kind of content you'd like to see on my channel. I'd really appreciate that honest feedback going into 2024. There's another video on screen now. I can't point at it because my controllers are dead, but go watch it if you want to help YouTube recommend my videos. You could also subscribe, like the video, and of course, be kind to yourself and take care. Tarapeutic out.